Alright, today I'm going to show you how we make bagels using the Zojirushi bread machine. We start using the recipe in the book that comes with it. And you take that container for making the bread in and put it on a scale. Now we've had good luck with this, OXO scale, I guess. We really like it. And what we do is we weigh everything according to the recipe. And you can see it's a lot more accurate than trying to measure things out by volume. We had problems in the beginning with that. And this one actually uses a bread flour to make them. But anyhow, all the stuff gets just put in a container and gets put in this machine, and you set the course number, and then it tells you the time it'll be done. And for dough, it just makes the dough and it doesn't cook it or anything. So while that's getting ready, we'll fill up a pot, or fill a pot about a third of the way up with some water to boil them in. And my wife's getting some of the cookie sheets ready to work with, to put them on, and cutting some pieces of parchment paper up there to use to set the individual dough balls on. So when the machine beeps, it's done, and this is what the dough looks like. It's perfect dough every time. I just can't believe this machine. This is one of our best investments ever. I bet we've made over 100 loaves of bread in it since I got it last year. And there she is. She's on the ground waiting for her treat. She knows every time my wife makes bagels that she gets a treat, and I'll show you in a second. So it's a little tough getting the dough out of the pan, but it really doesn't stick or anything. It's just a gooey type dough. So at this point, dough just came out of the machine. It has to be kind of rolled up and equally divided into 10 pieces. So she just kind of try to make a roll out of it, stretch it out, and cut it in half. And then cut each one of those into 5 more pieces to make the 10 individual roll, or the bagel. Actually, they are the bagels. They're the start of the bagels. So once you got them, each one has to be kind of stretched around the center of it. A little bit of flour there to keep from sticking, and she just has to stretch the dough a little bit and make each one into a little ball there. And she's still waiting patiently. It's coming. Don't worry. So there they are. 10 little bagel starts. And they just have to sit and rest for the time in the book. You always go exactly by the recipe in the book, because it comes out perfect every time. So they've rested, and now it's time to try to make them look like a bagel. You just have to poke a hole in the middle and stretch them out a little. Now remember, these are homemade, so they're not going to all come out exactly perfect looking, but they all taste just amazing when they're done. So almost look like a donut when you stretch them out, but they do spring back some. So you can see it's actually it's not that bad. It takes a lot of time to make them, but it's not too labor intensive using the bread machine for the dough. And each one goes on its own piece of parchment paper there. Next thing we're going to do is proof them. So once they're all stretched out, the oven goes on proof, and you can see there'll be 10 of them when she's done there. Got one tray done. Let's just get on to the second tray. And by now the oven is heating up, and going to spritz them all a little bit with some water, and then put them in the oven and let them proof for the time that they give you in the recipe. It's nice having that proof feature on the oven. It really works perfect for these. And these are our favorites. So while that's going on, I'm going to start heating the water up, putting a little bit of honey in it. Squirts just a little bit in there. And actually, you need a wok for these two to get them out. Now, here comes a treat. The egg has to be separated. The egg white's going to be used for brushing them with to make the sesame seeds stick. Add a little bit of water to that. And there's some toasted sesame seeds that we use. My wife toasts them. And here goes the treat in the oven, and she knows it's coming. Gotta let it cool down a little bit. She's waiting patiently. Smart little girl. And there it is. She gets the egg yolk every time we make bagels. They have to be separated out. And she really loves it. Her favorite. It's amazing how smart dogs are. Now it's nap time. Back over to bed. And let's take a nap till they're done. Alright, so once proof time is done, they come out of the oven and it's time to boil them. You can't skip this step. You can't just bake them. They won't come out good. And you can see they look more like bagels now too. Pretty much they puffed up a little bit and really look good. These are just our favorites. They're just amazing. Like I said, they do take some time to make, but they really are good and they're worth it. Alright, so I gotta get the water just boiling there. And then each one of these goes in the water for a couple seconds. And then halfway through, you take and you flip it. Now, it's easy to slip the parchment paper off once you do hit the water. Before then, it's really tough. So it's best to just set them in there with the parchment. Don't try to mess with them and just pull that out. And again, at this point, it's nice to have a wok so that you can drain the water as you pick them out. Now you could put more at a time in, but we find that 2 works about best. And you just want to have like a slow, constant boil going on in the pot there. So once the time's up, you just have to take them out, and see, that's where that little spider comes in, that little wok spider. Puts them on a piece of paper to get some of the moisture, and then they go on the final parchment paper where they're going to be baked on. And we find that 5 is just perfect on, each cookie sheet. So while she's doing that, she's going to keep on going with that. It's my turn to, I finally get to touch them. So I get to do the egg white and the sesame seeds. So pretty much just to get the seeds to, stick good and to give the bagels a nice little glaze on them. I'm going to coat it with a thin coat of the egg white using a pastry brush here. And then just try to get as many sesame seeds on there as I can. We love the toasted sesame seeds on them. It just gives them such great flavor. And this is the only time I get to touch the bagels. So you can see it's it's a little bit of a pain to try to get them on there, but it's worth it. Alright, so next batch up. And they're just about ready to go in the oven now. So at this point it is kind of a 2-person job, but you can see they've actually blown up a little bit in the water there, and they actually shrink a little bit once they start to cool down. Look a little funky here, but that'll cook right out of there. So there they are, all coated with the sesame seeds and ready to go in the oven. So what we do is we put the 2 pans in the oven at the same time, and at 375 you can see.
Echo.
Set the timer, and at the halfway point we actually swap the pans, the bottom one to the top and the top to the bottom. So there you see it's 20 minutes, and at the 10-minute point we're going to just swap the pans around. Otherwise you get one that's a little more cooked than the other sometimes. This way they all come out with a nice golden brown on them. And you can see they're really starting to cook up now and look really nice. So 20 minutes is up, and bagels are done. Oh, you should smell the house now. It just smells so good. These things are just amazing. Nothing like the store-bought bagels. Oh yeah, she wants to cook up a couple of sweet potatoes, so while the oven's hot, let's throw them in there. So it does, it does take a whole morning by the time you're done to just make 10 bagels. But it's definitely worth it.
30 minutes, starting now.
Can't imagine what a homemade bagel like this would cost. I know at Wegmans right now they're selling bagels, and they're about $1.50 a piece. So, these would probably cost a lot more than that. And oh, they're such a nice light bagel, really great flavor, and everybody loves them that tries them. Just pretty amazing. So I just wanted to, kind of share this with you and show you that bread machine is good for more than just making bread. If you look on their online website, you'll see recipes, and also every recipe in the book works perfect, we found so far. And, here's another example of it. So just wanted to share this with you, and, just show you how easy it is really to make bagels. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.